Nigeria, Africa's biggest oil producer. Every dawn, millions rise to the hum of generators because power is never stable. From the Delta creeks to Lagos streets, oil is everywhere, in the air, in the economy, in every conversation. Yet, the same nation that export crude oil imports refine fuel at higher prices. Decades of promises, billions in spending, and still, fuel queues stretch for miles. How can a land so rich in black gold be drowning in energy poverty? This is not just mismanagement. This is a mystery, a $2.9 billion story of power, deception, and silence. The question is not what happened to the money, it's who took it, and how did they get away with it. In 2016, the government made a vow that ignited national hope. 3 of Nigeria's aging refineries, Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna, would be revived. Billions of dollars were allocated for rehabilitation, modernization, and capacity upgrades. Officials appeared on television with confident smiles, claiming Nigeria would soon refine its own oil again. Blueprints were displayed, engineers deployed, and contracts awarded. But after the cameras left, so did the progress. Months turned into years. The refinery stayed silent, but the funds kept flowing. Nearly $2.9 billion was released, yet not a single drop of fuel was produced. Something wasn't adding up. When auditors began tracing the money trail, the truth was staggering. Payments were made to companies that didn't exist, only ghost addresses and inactive websites. Some contractors had no record of performing refinery work anywhere in the world. Others were political allies, registered under new business names right before the contract began. Millions were paid for consultations, maintenance, and preparations. In reality, these were just words printed on invoices to justify transactions. The numbers looked official, the documents looked complete, but behind the paper was nothing. It was a clean crime, hidden in plain sight. When investigators visited the refineries, they expected noise, progress, or at least movement. Instead, they found silence, rusted machines, locked gates, and weeds growing through pipelines. At one site, even the security guard hadn't been paid in months. Yet, reports sent to Abuja claimed 95% completion. Pictures of old equipment were recycled to show ongoing work. One refinery was rehabilitated 3 times on paper, yet never restarted once. The money was gone, but the refineries were still dead. Nigeria's fuel independence had become a mirage. Behind every inflated contract, a familiar pattern emerged: politics. The companies were connected to powerful figures, campaign donors, and insiders. Funds circled back into political parties through donations and consulting groups. Oversight committees approved the budgets, knowing exactly where the money would go. Whistleblowers describe it as an organized loop of privilege, a system where corruption rewards loyalty and loyalty protects corruption. The refinery scam wasn't random. It was designed, a network of friends, families, and financiers trading national assets for personal gain. As public anger grew, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission stepped in. Flights were canceled, accounts frozen, and top officials barred from leaving the country. A dozen names were quietly placed on the watch list. The government promised accountability, but Nigerians had heard this before. Each scandal starts with headlines and ends with silence. Would this case be any different, or just another show for the cameras? The streets buzzed with one question: who will finally go to jail? Then came the leaks. Anonymous insiders began releasing documents, payment records, and personal memos. One voice said, "We watched billions move with one signature." No. Checks, no oversight. They described meetings where contracts were pre-assigned before bidding even opened. Some whistleblowers went into hiding, others lost their jobs. A few simply vanished from public life. Still, the evidence painted a clear picture. The refinery repairs were a scam engineered from the top down. And this time, the world was finally paying attention. While billions disappeared on paper, ordinary Nigerians paid the price in reality. Fuel queues stretched for hours, prices doubled overnight, and black markets thrived. Taxi drivers slept in line just to fill their tanks. Small businesses shut down as generator costs ate into their profits. For the average citizen, refinery repair wasn't a headline. It was hunger, darkness, and lost income. Every stolen dollar meant fewer jobs, fewer hospitals, and fewer lights in homes. The crime didn't just rob the state, it robbed the people. In response, committees were formed, hearings were held, and reports were written, thousands of pages. But when the dust settled, the outcome was predictable. No one powerful faced conviction. Every investigation led to another explanation, another promise, another delay. Citizens began to lose faith in justice itself. In Nigeria, scandals don't end, they fade. It's not the first refinery fraud, and history suggests it won't be the last. The system doesn't change because the system protects itself. The refinery scandal fits a pattern stretching decades. From one administration to the next, leaders promise energy independence, then billions vanish. The story repeats like a broken record. Money approved, contracts signed, refineries untouched. Reform becomes a slogan, not a solution. Experts say corruption thrives where institutions are weak and citizens are weary. And in Nigeria, fatigue has become a national emotion. The people have seen this movie too many times. The plot never changes. But this time, the trail stretches beyond Nigeria. Documents reveal offshore accounts in Dubai, London, and Geneva linked to key figures. International watchdogs are now tracking the transfers and identifying foreign partners. This isn't just a Nigerian problem. It's a global money laundering web. Yet, justice moves slowly, especially when power and politics cross borders. Behind closed doors, negotiations continue, and the truth hangs in the balance. For the first time, ordinary citizens are fighting back, not with weapons, but with information. Social media has become the new courtroom. Online investigators, journalists, and activists are exposing names, documents, and transactions in real time. Hashtags like refinery fraud trend across platforms, forcing government agencies to respond. Digital transparency has become the people's weapon. And unlike the past, this generation is watching closely and refusing to forget. The $2.9 billion refinery scandal isn't just a story of stolen money. It's a mirror of a broken system. It's about betrayal, lost opportunities, and the endurance of a nation that deserves better. Will this investigation finally bring justice, or will it vanish like the billions before it? The answer depends not just on those in power, but on those watching. Share this story, demand accountability, and keep the spotlight alive, because silence protects corruption and truth destroys it. I'm your narrator, and this has been the Refinery Scam, how $2.9 billion vanished in Nigeria. Watch the full investigation on my channel, and subscribe for Part 2, The Hidden Players Behind the Oil Empire.